Hello and welcome to today's SAP community call. I'm Svea Becker and I'm part of the SAP community team. And today we would like to talk about explore advanced features in SAP Intelligent RPA 2.0. And I have two speakers here with me. I have Priya and Julien. Both are from SAP, and Priya is a senior customer solution adoption specialist, and Julien is a senior intelligent RPA specialist at SAP. And I'm really happy that both are here to talk about this SAP Intelligent RPA topic. And before we are going to start, let me briefly touch point the Q&A. So we would like to cover your questions in our Q&A functionality here in Zoom. When you hover over the bottom of your screen, you'll see this Q&A, and there you can submit already your questions while Priya and Julien are speaking. So this would be great, and we save some time for after the presentations. And now I hand over to Priya, who will start the call, and I will remove my video. And Priya is not on video today, but I guess you can then focus better on the presentation. So Priya, welcome to the call. The stage is yours.
Hello everyone, with Julien, we are happy to present you the latest features in SAP Intelligent RPA 2.0. So today we would be covering about the advanced features like multi-level collection support, SAP UI5 file browser, upload collection and subscreen capabilities too, and hot and cold debugging. And the most awaited feature which most of them are wanted to get knowledge about is a BAPI SDK. So coming to the multi-level collection support in automation. So in your application editors, you can declare n dimensions and the same can be executed in your automations. For example, in the cells, in the tables of 2 dimensions and in the cells of the list of tables with 3 dimensions, now you can have the detailed properties in the list of the orders. You can iterate the each element connection also. And these nested loops will automatically create and pre-fill the correct target data. So as you can see here in the screenshot, now we have the multi-dimensional supportability. So this feature is available from 2109, which was released just few days back. Then the other one is SAP UI5 upload collection. This is the control for the attachment management, and it provides the ability to upload various types of file. You can either upload a single or a multiple file using the upload collection control. As of now, if you want to upload for the multiple files, you have to loop through it. In the next releases, we are planning to introduce a new activity which will upload the multiple files at one stretch. So the upload file is an activity under the SAP UI5 upload collection in a subgroup of SAP UI5 SDK. This activity provides the ability to upload single or multiple files. So you should capture the application first, and then you have to select the element so that you can see the particular activity related to that element. So the other one is SAP UI5 file browser. So this is a custom control which is added recently to the SAP UI5 SDK. So we are aware that we have different type of upload controls. It is upload collection or file browser. It all depends on how the screen of the UI is designed. We have multiple ways where the elements can be used. With 2109, we have introduced this SAP UI5 file browser, where you need not capture your save as export pop-up explicitly, but you can directly capture the element here and use the activity browse file, which would help you to ease the capturing of the pop-up. So there is no capturing of the pop-up. Just select this SAP UI5 file browser here and directly use browse file on this activity. We would shortly be seeing all these things in the demo. And the subscreens capability, it is available only for UI automation as of now. Make sure that your SDK version is higher than 1.12 and you have a desktop agent version, minimum version of 2.1.4. So in some automation process, it is required that we have to declare a subscreen. And As I just mentioned, it's available only for UI automation as of now. And the subscreen relationship, this ensures that the required controls are recognized properly. However, if not declared correctly, it prevents the required controls from being recognized. A subscreen is declared in the same way as application screen. So as you can see, you have an option where you just click on this three dots and add a subscreen. It's similar to how we capture the application. So the only difference is that it must be declared with a corresponding parent screen. You can directly say add subscreen, which should be declared along with the parent screen. Next, coming to the hot and cold debugging, we can now record and also retrieve the traces. Just give me a moment. There was a power cut here, so let me know when you can see the screen now.
Yeah, we can see the screen sharing now, yeah.
Okay. Sure. Sorry for the inconvenience.
No problem.
So in the SAP Intelligent RPA Factory, you can record and retrieve the traces that are sent by the desktop agent on the failed jobs. These traces enable monitoring and also help you to identify the potential issues. So most of us are aware that whenever you trigger the added trigger, you're not sure at which step your automation has failed. With this cold debugging, you have you have an option where you can enable the traces and see at which step exactly your automation is failed. You can even activate the traces for desktop agent and others too. I'll be shortly showing you how we activate the traces too. And make sure that this trace management is available only for the core SDK version 1.11 and above. So once you have triggered this automation, the desktop agent records all the information related to the jobs. And in case if the job fails, the traces which are related to the job are sent to the factory and then they're displayed in the monitoring section. You have a column known as traces where it would show available, and soon you would be seeing that. And just to emphasize on this, only as of now, it's available only for the traces are available only if the automation is failed, but not for the success. So now let's get back to the demo part of all these features. Okay. So the first one, let's show about multi-level collections. I've already captured the screens. I'll show you all the applications. And this is a new UX which has been released as part of 2109. Siva, just if I want to remove this thing, is it possible? This title, the Zoom one is not allowing me to click on the tabs.
When you click on view option at the top of your screen, you can change the ratio so that the Zoom window is a bit smaller, or you can, maybe this works.
Okay.
No, I mean when you click at the top of your screen now, you should have a little window from Zoom where you can change the view options, and there you can click on exit full screen or something like that.
Okay. Okay, maybe I'll do this. That's
yeah, maybe you make it like that, then it's maybe better.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So I would be capturing this Zaira board, okay, where I'll be showing about this multi-capture. I've already captured the Zaira board here. And now let's see how we can use this multi-collection. I would retrieve all the data which are in the table. Earlier we had only one dimension where you can do. Now we can use a 2-dimension thing. So this is the TD. So this is a TD and TR here. Okay. First, we'll capture the table data. Only the TDs. Let's go to both of. So let's capture only the table data here, which is only this one. So I declare this element here and then mark as a collection. So you could see that table data, each of them is available here. And now I want I would even mark this as the row. Okay. And I want the values of each of the data inside this TD. As of now, it's multi-dimensional. Now we have to make it as a 2-dimensional. So we need to capture each of this cell now. So this TD has to be captured now. So this, if you see now, it is a cell here. Okay. Just give me a moment. So it looks like this one is not getting highlighted here. I'll just come back to this. Maybe I'll just cover the other one. It's not highlighting the data and everything here. Just give me a moment.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
And for the audience, we have already seen your questions and some of them have already been answered. So you can proceed to submit your questions in the Q&A here at the bottom in the Zoom menu.
So I'll maybe I'll cover the multi-dimensional in the end.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with the browser one, SAP UI5 file browser. I've already captured the application here. So as you can see, we have different types of save as pop-up here. I click on upload. Earlier, we had to upload, capture this save as pop-up, but now you need not capture the pop-up. We have the SAP UI5 browser control, which is available. And now I click on this. You need to make sure that you capture both this input field and also the upload. So this is, you have to just click on below that and capture the entire div. And you can see the element class as SAP UI5 file browser. Okay. And click on upload file and then declare the element. I click on save. The element is recognized. Let me create an automation. We will not start the application and add all those stuff, but we'll directly drag and drop the screens and use the activity. The upload file here, I click on this and go to activities. As you can see, you would see the browse file here. I drag and drop and put on this. So browse file and enter the values. You can directly give the file path here and click on save. And now I already opened it and kept it. I'll just test the automation now. It should upload the file content. Okay, so the file has been uploaded. So let's go and see how the data here would appear. So browse file here and then the request.json. And the next one here would be the purchase order. So this is a different type of the file upload. When you click on upload here, we have the save pop-up. As I mentioned, the cumbersome process of capturing the screen is avoided now. We have the file upload collection and we can directly capture this element and use a file upload collection. I've captured the screen here. Let's declare the element now. So the purchase order, you need to capture the entire element here and you can see the element class as SAP UI5 upload collection. So let me create the upload collection here. And then declare the element. I would save it. And let me create a new automation with file browser. So the file upload collection. I go to screens. Make sure that you select on this element. It's highlighted as yellow, and then the corresponding activities for the element would be loaded. So now I go to activities. So I have the upload file here for the upload file collection. I drag and drop and put it here, upload file, and I give the value. And I would test now. So it should upload the values in the file. You go to the purchase order here. So the file got uploaded here. And there is an option. Now let's talk about the subscreen capabilities. I'll take up the use case of save pop-up only, where you have to capture the subscreens as well. It covers both subscreens, and also it even covers the use case where you have to capture the save as pop-up. So this is one of the use case where it doesn't have any of the UI5 controls, but still you have to capture the subscreen. So I click on download Excel. It opens the save as pop-up in a different window. In these scenarios, other than SAP UI5 applications, you have to capture it as a subscreen. So the application is open now, and I'll just click on cancel. I have to navigate here to the purchase project. So let me capture the application now. So before you capture the pop-up, make sure that you capture the RPA challenge, the main parent. As I mentioned earlier, the parent application has to be captured, and then this the child one has to be captured. So if you can see here, I've already captured the parent screen. So untitled Google Chrome, if you see here. I'll create the application again. Maybe it would help you identifying it easier. You create an application. And if you want to select the UI automation, make sure that you select hide, uncheck the hide advanced. Okay, let me open it in the Chrome itself. Okay, now I go back to the project, filter, and you should be seeing untitled Chrome in your screen. Was not captured properly, so let me check it again. You should not directly capture the pop-up, but you first have to capture the application and then capture this. Maybe the preview is not there, but I'll still go ahead and capture. So once you capture, you will have an option where you can add a subscreen to this. So this pop-up, save as pop-up, will be captured as part of a subscreen. I click on 3 dots and I have add subscreen. And as I said, You have to uncheck this, hide advanced to see the pop-up of UI automation. And now I would capture this. I click on, if you see the technology here, it would come up as UI automation. I click on capture. Once this is captured, you should be able to recognize the elements, like where exactly you have to input the file name, save and cancel buttons. So as you can see, the indication also here, it's a different. For subscreen, you have this icon, and now you can declare your elements accordingly, where exactly you have to put the file name, save, and the automation is same as how you do the previous automations. So I will not get into detail of how do we again call this. It's same, just like calling the screen and then setting the element for this. Now let's go to the hot and cold debugging. So hot debugging is nothing but where when you test your application, you see all the errors, watches in the timeline. And cold debugging is where you have an option to activate the traces, especially for the failed automations. I already have created a project where it gives me an error in the automation. You have to generate a package and then trigger this. I go to my environments. I already deployed this package, added a trigger to. Okay, so click on this and you would say, I already activated, I'll just deactivate it now and activate it again. So you have an option of activate traces. Make sure that your SDK and your project which is developed with the is higher version than 1.11. Otherwise, the activate traces button would not be enabled for you. So click on activate traces. You can even enable the technical traces, which would give you agent and design traces too. I click on activate. And I would even say to execute my bot now so that the automation would be failing. I have the steps written inside the automation, which would fail. I've intentionally written that. So I click on run now. Let's go to the monitoring jobs. Once the automation is failed, you need to, it would take time for the traces to upload to the factory. It's not that as soon as the automation failed, you would see that in the available column here, traces column here. If you can see, there are automations which have traces, but it takes some time to make these traces available. So meantime, when the job is executing, I would job is executing and you get the traces here. I will open the available traces here and then show it to you. I click on available here. Once you click on available, this traces tab would be enabled for your job. And you can even now go to traces. And here you can see what are the steps which are executed and which was the step which has been failed. And you can see all your workflow and which has ended up in error. You can click on export traces. And all the traces, both, since we have enabled the technical traces both for agent too, when you click on export traces, it would be downloaded into your local machine as a zip file. As you can see now, just few seconds back, it got failed. but we need to wait for a few more seconds to make sure that the traces are available here. In meantime, when you get the traces as available here, let me go back to the next functionality that we have to cover. The multi-dimensional one, as you can see here, right? I have declared the TD and TRs here. We have one TD which we have already declared, and then we have declared the other one issue row here as an collection. And make sure that once you have declared it, you have to click on the three dots and say add to criteria so that it gets added here. It's not that we click on this and say set as direct element or set as target element. You have to click on this and say add to criteria. To your collection, you have to click on this and say add to criteria to get added for the issue row. And now you can see the two-dimensional array which has come up, and all the details related to this would be available. Now let me create an automation. I drag and drop the screen. And as you can see, there's a multi-dimensional available. And when I use a get element here, I drag and drop the get element. You can see two for each loops added here. So it would get all the row data and also the cell data. Maybe let me increase the font here, which would be clear for you. It would get the row data and also each cell data. So let me add a log message. Let me come out of the screen to access the core SDK activities. I will add a log message here once I get the element. Step 3 text. And you can even see the row number. Let me add another log message where you can even see the row number too. Okay, I have changed my tenant when I was doing for the debugging of the cold debugging. I'll just change the tenant. As you can see, we have a two-dimensional one. First thing was a row number. And we have some blank things here because your Zaira board had first two columns. If you see in the screenshot, we had first two columns which are blank, like image or something. So that's the reason you have two of them as blank. And then we see the second one with the details of the numbers here. And each cell value is displayed. And the row number, then the second comes to row number 1 and all the details of the row number. So this is the power of the multi-dimensional array, and we have introduced this as part of 2109. So any queries for all these new features that have been released? Okay, if we don't have any queries, maybe I will give it to Julien to explain about BAPI SDK.
Yes. So I will share my screen.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. It's a little teaser. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about BAPI SDK. So with the 2109 that we have released just this weekend, we have released BAPI, the SDK to be able to call BAPI's function. What is BAPI's? BAPI's are functions that customer can develop into SAP Logon, and you can use it with a different type of connectors, and the goal here is to have a connector to call BAPI. Let me show you some little things about BAPI. So what is BAPI's function? No, okay. We have transaction to display all our BAPI's functions. Okay. Here you can display, change, create your function. We will display one BAPI function that is already created. Sorry. Okay. Okay, it's still slow. Strange. Okay, great. So here, this is the source code of the BAPI. It's not important. The purpose of the demonstration is not to show you how to code BAPI. But one thing that is important, if you display your function, you will see that you have three kind of, let's say, parameters. The first one is import. So you have, let's say, command parameters that you will put in, that you will set into input. Okay. So there is here PR header and PR header X. Okay. You have also the export part. This is the output of the function. Okay. And changing, it's when you want to put a parameter in input that will change, and it will change in output. Okay. And the last one is tables. Tables, it's it's the parameters that you have to give into a table. So typically here it's your material that you will create in the purchase order. You have to know that here we can see that the only required element is this one. If I press the key F8, we should have a description. Yeah. So we have all here it's to call the BAPI. Okay. We will not. It's just to show you how it's working and what is the parameter. And if I check the PR item here, let me show you. Here we have the list of parameters, and some of them are mandatory. Some okay. So yeah, this is BAPIs. Okay, you can code your BAPIs. This is another let's say competence. Okay, another skill. Now I will show you how to call this function. So first of all, you have to let's go to the settings. Yeah, you have to add in dependencies the BAPI SDK. Okay. One thing what is important, it's available only with the agent 2.0.16. If you don't use it, it will not work. Okay. So I've prepared this automation really easily. First of all, I use an activity to create the connection to SAP login. So I use my parameters, the message address, the instance number, the client, the language, and the SCN name. Okay. If you maybe I can help you to do that, to show you to retrieve this name. Okay, you just have to right click properties. Yeah, it's very slow. Okay, come on. Yeah, in network you will find SCN. Okay. So okay, so I've created my connection. After this, I create data type, so it's variable. Let me show you. So I've created two data types. One for import. Okay, so you will find here. This is exactly. It must be exactly the same name that you can find into SAP login. Okay, when in the description of your BAPI function. So here I have provided two type of parameters. Okay, and the table. So with let's say here we have two lists. Okay, PR item X PR item. You can see that there are lists. Okay, and that's it. Okay, this is exactly I've reproduced exactly the let's say the structure that we have here. Okay, but only with elements that are mandatory. Okay. So I've created my two variables. Okay. If I edit activity, I already set some values. Okay. See, we can find that we have two lines. Okay. And after this, I just execute my BAPI function with so I put my name here. Okay. I reuse the connection that have been created at the beginning of the automation. I use my two variables. Okay, import and table. We don't have any changing parameters, so I don't want anything. And here in output, I put return to tell that, to tell that we have to retrieve the return values. We have to know, yeah, and the output here will be the all the return values. Okay. After this, I commit. Okay, because you have to commit after an execution of BAPI. And here I will log the response. Okay, and finally I close my connection. I've surrounded all the instruction by a try catch to be sure that I close my connection. Okay, so if I have some trouble in creation variable or execute BAPIs or something, with the try catch, I'm sure that I will close the connection. Okay, so let's test this. It should be very quick. Okay, the connection is created. Okay, we execute the BAPI. It's a little slow. Yeah. And we can see here that we have the return values. Okay, let's just display this. Okay, and here this is the return values. Okay, with the purchase requisition number and so on. And that's it. If you have questions, don't hesitate.
So yeah, there are questions. There is a question from Srinivas. Sorry, how did you get the BAPI interface in the Cloud Studio, or did you create it manually?
This one, the data type, I've created it manually. Okay, I have to create this manually. We are thinking about something to help you. Yeah, one thing that is important. As always, we will continue to improve the product. If we find something just to retrieve all the structure and create automatically the data type, we will do this. But I'm not sure this is possible for now.
Okay, thank you. And there was also a question in the chat about the where is it now? How to start to upgrade to SAP Intelligent RPA 2.0, and Priya has already mentioned here the blog post where she explained it briefly, step by step. So here, please check out the chat and click on the links. And also, I have added some links to the topic page and also to the tag. So it's always great when you follow the tag SAP Intelligent RPA and set your notification settings accordingly so that you get a notification once there is a new item on the tag. There is another question in the chat. Is it mandatory to have single sign-on for SAP log?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to show you that no, it's not mandatory. We have also an activity to use basic connection. Okay, you can use the user, the password, the message. I didn't show you this because I would show you my password, so no. But you can create the connection in basic authentication with this.
And is it does this apply also for BAPI call?
It's only for BAPI call.
Okay, got it. And Srinivas was asking another question because I think it was not his goal what you answered. So he was talking about the BAPI interface of import, export, changing. Is this part of the activity already? So that was more or less his question.
Not sure to get it.
The first question we had was how did you get the BAPI interface in the cloud studios?
Yeah, okay.
Or did you create it manually? And this was more about import, export, and changing.
Okay, import, export, changing table. It's let's say it's in SAP. It's not created. Okay, what you create, it's the parameters that you have here. Okay, I'm pretty sure that I'm not an expert with BAPI. Okay, but I'm pretty sure that you already have some BAPI functions. If you go into your SAP login and you type SE37, yeah. Okay.
It should be /NSE37.
Yeah, but it's okay. You go here and you can find functions with search, and so you can find functions.
So maybe I can add to Julien's here. So all the functions which are available in the SAP system, right? When you create a function module, you all have an input and output parameter which is available. You just need to add there. The tabs are available. You can just add the parameters which are required. So this attribute, import, export are all these constant. You need to add the parameters which you want to expose to the outside world.
Yeah, if you want to create your BAPIs, but there is already some BAPIs that there is some BAPIs that already exist. But what was explained just later, it's here. This is the parameters that you create if you create your own function, and not the import, export, changing table. The tab will already be here if you create your function.
I hope this answers the question, but Srinivas also raised his hand, so I allow him to talk. You can talk now.
Okay, SNC.
Sorry, Julien, I give it to Srinivas now to ask his question.
Okay.
So Julien, I was actually talking about the activity in the Cloud Studio where you have mapped the import and export. So those import export are part of the activity definition already, or did you create it?
No.
Okay.
You see here it's parameter, okay, and I have created some data types. okay, that are the same structure than in SAP Logon. And I've created my variables here, okay? So you see my variable 3 and my variable 4, and I just pass them in parameter, in import and table, and that's it.
Okay, okay. So we have a default parameters already available with the execute BAPI activity in the standard, in the Cloud Studio. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, I have the next question also about the SNC. I didn't understand what were you talking about.
SNC is just here, this string to connect, okay? It's just to retrieve this string, you have to go into properties and network. Yeah, here. It's just to be able to connect, okay? In fact, with SSO connection, you have to use the SC name, okay? And if you use the basic, this one, you have to use the system ID, okay? It's not really the same way to do this, okay?
Okay, understood. All right. Thanks.
Thank you too. And we have another question. Will other technical artifacts of ABAP, like class reports, will be covered in upcoming release? Can you answer this one?
There is no plan for now, but maybe in the future, yes.
Okay, thank you. And there was a question in the chat about the latest version, and Priya was so kind to add the latest version here. It's 2.0.16. And yeah, so from my side, I really want to thank you for having this presentation here today, for being part of the SAP Community Call series. And if there are no more questions, I give you back 4 minutes of the hour so that you can proceed with your projects, business, and so on. So thanks very much, Priya. Thanks very much, Julien. And I hope to see you in one of the next calls. Bye for now.
Bye.